Hello everyone, and in this video we're going to work with the server detail. Basically, when we click on any of these servers in our site nav, we want to update the information here, right? We created the services for that here, where we get basically the server detail. We just need to make this work. So here in our server component, we are passing the active server. So we need to open our server here, and let's import. We're going to use so here we're going to use a state. So let's import use a state, and also we're going to use our hooks use effect hook, right? And use UI. So let's start creating some states. Let's create this one called server detail. It's going to contain the information, and also set server detail, just like that. This one will be use a state, use a state, and will be empty initial value. Okay, let's create another one. This one we're gonna call it data loaded, and this one will basically just going to be like a boolean that we're going to make sure that we, for example, when we click on one, if we're going to render the data. If not, we're going to render like this part that says like a click on a server to load the data or whatever you want. So set data loaded. Use a state, and then let's put initial value of false. And also we're going to create one called it's admin set it's just like that, admin. Okay, just this one will be false, of course. Okay, so why are we doing that? Why we they said admin because remember, for if you're an admin, you will have like different like functionalities, kind of like sending invitations and all of that. Now that's one of the reasons why we have that. So now let's call our hook and use effect hook. Let's use our arrow engine here. Oops. Just like that. And we're going to set our hook to here. Let's put it inside our array here. I'm gonna put props. Oh, we need to pass props here. Props. And then here, props dot active server that we are passing here. If we go to home, remember that we're passing active server. But what are we doing that? So here basically we're saying that this is going to execute when we render, and also it's going to watch for these like props. It's going to watch that, and every time it changes, it's going to execute like re-render this again. So if this value changes, that it will, when we click on, when we start like clicking on like different servers, this value will change. So when we put it here, it's basically telling this use effect to execute or render whatever is inside. And what we want to execute, we want to execute the server detail because we want to change the information that's here. I hope that makes sense. Okay. First, if we go to our services, we need to pass an ID and a token. Very simple. So let's import. We need to import the service, right? So import get server. Let me just copy this. Get server data, right? Run. Oops. From slash oops run, and then here we need to go back a little bit. Okay, services slash server. Okay, okay, we got that. And now here we can call our like get server, right? But first we need to get the token. Check for token. So const token will be equal to local storage get item token. Now we call. Let's check. Let's make a condition here. So if type of props that active server, first we need to check the active server has like a value, right? It's different from undefined. If it's different, that means that it has value, right? If it's different than undefined, then we call our get server data, right? And what we pass over get server data? Well, first, if we go to servers, we need to pass the ID. That's the server ID. That's inside props active server, comma, and we pass the token. Simple. Then we get a response, right? Then response. Here we have our arrow response. What we do? So we set this. Oops, we set the server detail here. The response. Easy. Okay. So now we need to check if we go to our here to our API. If we go to okay, so here remember that here we're passing the data in is admin. So we need to change this one. So we need to specify that we're passing the data to the server detail. So make sure you put response.data. Okay, so now we need to check. Let's put a condition on here. If response that is admin, that was the, let me check API. Yeah, it's under is admin. If it's admin equals true, if it equals true, we're going to set the admin, set is admin to simple. Just if it's like, if it's admin, we're going to set is admin to true. If not, no. So now we need to also change this. We need to set data loaded. We need to change it to true because we got data. So we need to change that to true. We close it and that's it. Here. Okay. So we got that. Remember that we're going to have like two information here. If it's changed the value and not. So here we're going to have if data loaded, like that, equals true, then we're going to return that, just like that. Else, just like that. Basically, what we're saying here is if the data is loaded, we're going to return this information, just like that. Like whatever we have like here, which will be the data loaded. If not, we're going to like just put else, right? We don't have anything here, that's why it's like having an error. So here let's just put main. Okay. If it's loaded, we're going to put the mapping data and all of that here. If not, we're going to have like a message here. Yeah, let's just do that now. So class name container xmass desktop. Right. Content is large. Test center. Basically, like I'm putting in like a big kind of like a notification thing. Let's put it here. Class name notification is primary. Just change the color to kind of like green. And in here we're going to have a icon, serial icons, split refresh, a refresh icon. And then here let's put H5, class name, title is, I think, no. Okay. Nothing to show. Click on okay, pretty much. Just kind of like a notification, like, hey, nothing is being shown, like click on one, la la la. Okay, and then but here we're going to basically load the data, right? And so we're going to divide the we're going to divide this in one for the data information with our car, and then here we're gonna have like the chat in the here like the members. So we're gonna divide this space in three parts. In order to do that, we need to call our div columns, right? Put a padding top of 1. And the first one will be last name column. First column will be it's 2. And here we're gonna have like a little car. We can move this one a little bit to the left, like that. Okay. And then here we're gonna have a car. Car. Let's go to boom. Oops. Component car. Okay, so we're gonna have a car. It's gonna have our image, and inside the car image, we're gonna have the kind of like the figure like that. I just copy this one, paste it here. This is because we don't have, we're not closing down, so you just close it like that. Okay, so we have an image there. We can delete them. Okay, so here we're going to have the image, right? And we have that here in this like server detail. So, oops, server detail dot. Here we have the banner, right? That's for car image. And then here, I'm gonna have a car content. Just like that, car content, and we can put, I don't know, we can have, because here we have the icons. Our content. Let me put a title like that. This one will be server detail dot title. Let's copy this one. And here we're gonna have the description server. Okay, very simple. So under that, let's copy kind of like this information. Let's copy this, like kind of like the footer under car content. Let's move this a little bit, kind of like that. And then here we're gonna have invite people and leave server. Simple. Okay, so let's save that. Let's rerun this just to see if it is working. Okay. Let's refresh. And as you can see, it's like nothing to show. Click on one of the server and let's click on this one. And as you can see, it's rendering the car on the left here. Now let's click on the other one. And as you can see, it's changing the information for each car. Perfect. So yeah. So in the next video, we're going to basically like here in this part, we're going to add the channels and all of that to continue rendering stuff. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.